Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. You know, ever since I've thought about doing this video, that song has been stuck in my head. Thank you, Jeremy Johns. Hey guys, it's Mikey, and you might notice Jojo is not here today, and unfortunately he won't be joining us for the next few videos. Thing is, Jojo has a job, so he doesn't just sit around at home all day and make videos. So yeah, like these next few Comic Junkie videos are going to be without him, unfortunately, but he will return because this is our thing that we do. So like, he just doesn't have the time and to be able to dedicate to recording videos once a week. So yeah, we're just gonna have to get through it without him. It'll be okay. I promise it'll be alright. I'm sorry you have to sit through and listen to my voice and stare at my face all video long. Greatly apologize. Completely understand. So the new trailer has come out for Rogue One, a Star Wars movie. And I'm here to just kind of share my thoughts on that a little bit. Me personally, I have a confession to make. I am not the hugest Star Wars fan in the world. I like Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. Don't kill me. Don't destroy me just yet. I like Star Wars. I'm just not, I don't love Star Wars. I don't live for Star Wars as a lot of my friends do and everything. And I definitely, I like the franchise. I like the first original trilogy, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes. I love all of those. I love, I didn't so much care for the prequels. Obviously, I don't think most people did. There are a few that did. I didn't necessarily. You can, give or take there, whichever you might choose. And then when episode 7 was coming out, I was just kind of like, it's going to take place after the last movie in the franchise, and I was like, okay, so it's a sequel. I was like, okay, we'll check it out. My buddy Jojo, he got the tickets and everything. We went to see it, and I wasn't that blown away by it. Is it a good movie? From a movie standpoint, yes. But I think what drew me out of it was a lot of his stuff was repeated from A New Hope, and I had just literally watched A New Hope, and it just didn't sit well with me. I don't particularly like when franchises repeat something within themselves. Like if another franchise does something and it's similar to what another one does, I don't really care because I look at that franchise as a franchise on its own. So like when something is kind of repeated, it's kind of like, I mean, it's a good movie, yeah, but it's kind of like you're not really showing me much new stuff. And granted, the characters were great and stuff like that. Is it a good movie? Yes, it definitely is. It didn't do it for me just because I'd seen a lot of what happened in the film before. The same thing, I guess I can compare it to Ant-Man and Iron Man. Ant-Man, I don't care for Ant-Man as much as everyone else does. I like Ant-Man, the movie. It's just kind of like, I saw this thing with Iron Man, so it was kind of like I didn't have that same investment as I did before. So that being said, so when I heard about this new prequel that was coming out, well, first I heard that a new Star Wars movie was coming out, which I already knew. I was just like, oh yeah, episode 8 is coming out. I definitely knew that. And I was like, no. My friend told me, he's like texting me on the phone. He's just like, hey, new Star Wars movie's coming out. And I'm like, oh yeah, already? Because like I had just seen episode 7, so I was like, oh, already? That was really fast. And he's like, yeah, it's a prequel. Crap. And then he told me there's just like, no, it's taking place like right before A New Hope. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh. And then I did some research and everything. And basically, if you don't know, Rogue One is dealing with what happens, basically what you read in the opening scrolling prologue of episode 4, A New Hope, and you read about the rebel spies and they're trying to steal the plans for Death Star, that is essentially what this movie is going to be about. And I was like, oh, that could actually really be good, because it felt like it would be a smaller story. And I saw the trailer for it. Obviously, it came out recently, and I was just like, wow, this definitely looks very good. It looks very much like a smaller, contained story. It does take place in a larger universe, obviously, but it's a smaller, contained story. And I particularly gravitate more towards those than the huge blockbuster type of movies and everything. Not that there's anything wrong with it. No, definitely, I love them, but it's just, I feel more for like the smaller stories. You can get a little more darker, get a little more grittier. You definitely seem like you're getting that just from this trailer. I could be completely wrong. It could be, it could be that blockbuster spectacle, but just from the trailer, it looks very much like a smaller story, very much more intimate, much more gritty. And it looks more like a war film than than the originals looked. I mean, yeah, there was stuff taking place, spaceship fights, all that stuff taking place in the original movies, stuff like that. But you have here, it looks more like war, and it looks like it's more stuff that would keep you on edge and stuff. Like, there's definitely some good characters in here. My favorite, of course, you guys probably don't know, because Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is probably my third favorite martial arts action star. And that would include Bruce Lee would be number one, Jet Li would be second, Donnie Yen would be third, Jackie Chan's probably fourth. But like he is definitely my third. He has always been one of my favorites. When I found out he was in this film and I saw him, I'm just like, yes, yes. Oh man, and there's there's the ending trailer point where you have Darth Vader, and I'm not surprised to see him. I mean, I kind of figured he would be in it just because it has to do with people stealing the plans from Death Star, and so it should be fairly interesting. If it's not like huge on action, it'll definitely probably be huge on like just drama alone, and just giving you that feel of a smaller spy movie. It may grow out to be big. I think probably one of the movies I could probably talk about that's close to what I'm kind of hoping for is more of a Winter Soldier type movie. Like, Winter Soldier started out small, and it grew as the movie progressed on and everything, and I didn't mind that, but it was still very much, even though everything that took place in Winter Soldier became huge, it was still managed to keep that small story and keep it between these particular characters. They were the main focus. These are the characters you felt for. It kept focus on Steve Rogers, Captain America. It was about him. So, and it's going to be about these particular rebel spies and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be, I hope it's going to be somewhere along those lines and be very similar in terms of the tone and how you can just really hone in on these characters and root for them. Now, I don't remember much about Star Wars lore, so spoiler alert if you're going to put something in the comments, and if you know about this, put a spoiler, a big capital letter spoiler or something like that. So you guys will have to help me out on this. I don't know, and like I said, spoiler alert, I don't know if the rebel spies die in this film. It's not like, I guess I can compare it to The Thing. For those who haven't seen The Thing, spoiler alert for The Thing, both of them, the 1980s version and the 2011. Don't quote me on it 100%. I think it was 2011. I might be way off, but The Thing that came out in the 2010s. I'm going to say 2010s. That one that came out was a prequel to the one that came out in the 1980s. But the thing was, when that one came out, you knew that these characters were going to be dead by the end of this film. So none of them were going to live. So you're just kind of like, oh man. And does it promote that? That's the thing, a tricky thing that a film really has to do. Is like, okay, do you know these characters are going to die? I don't know if the Rebel spies die or not. I do know that they get the plans to Princess Leia because that's what it says. It's not a spoiler. If you've seen the first Star Wars, Episode 4, New Hope. If you've seen that, you've read the prologue, you know what happens. You don't know how it happens. You know that eventually, like, they get the plans to Princess Leia, etc., etc., etc. I don't know if they die or not. If they do, let me know. Like I said, put a spoiler down below. Put a spoiler warning if you have it. You know, it's like, it's not going to make much of a difference to me, simply because, like, if I know they die, then they die. That's okay. But knowing that they die and not wanting a person to die is like, that's one of the difficult things a movie has to pull off. And I think that for me, I would say, like, when I watched the thing, it's like I didn't want most of these people to die. I was like, oh man, I don't. I was actually still like, you still develop that connection to where, like, you know they're going to die, but you don't want them to. And kind of like Mad Murdock in Daredevil, Matt Murdock's father, the boxer. You knew he was going to die in the TV show. It's like, you know he's going to die, but it's like, man, I don't want him to. But he, it's inevitable. It's like, you know it's coming, but you still don't want it to happen. So, yeah. Those are pretty much it. Like I said, I mentioned they do get the plans to Princess Leia, so maybe a short cameo by her. Hard to say. I don't know if, like, that they would have to eventually. I mean, you'd have to, like, have that handoff. So there's probably going to be a short cameo, but I don't know who's going to play her. But a short cameo by her would probably be in it. And also may have a cameo by R2-D2. There is another person I saw was casted, but he's casted in his role hasn't been revealed, but I saw him and I'm just like, that's probably going to play R2. Just thinking, like, I'm just like, it's probably going to play R2. But, that's still up in the air. They haven't revealed anything like that yet. So, but I'm definitely, me personally, definitely excited for this. I hope it is what I think it is. Like I said, I go into the movie, I'm going to, like, wipe all expectations clean. But for right now, from what I see from the trailer, I hope I get exactly what this trailer is showing me, and more. So, what do you guys think? If you guys excited for the Rogue One trailer? Rogue One trailer. The Rogue One trailer's already out. Rogue One movie. Are you guys excited for that? Whatever you think, put it in the comments below. Let's start a discussion, open discussion, and everything like that. Be nice. and so far, the guys who have commented have been very nice. So, like, I appreciate that. But yeah, just like, if you're interested, let's start a discussion. What do you guys hope to see out of it? And also, don't forget to follow my buddy JJ's blog at 4comicjunkies.blogspot.com. Support us on Patreon. We have a Patreon account that is open now, and we are accepting donations because we would like to start a podcast and where we can talk about this kind of stuff in longer formats and stuff, and you guys can listen, you guys can send questions and all that stuff. You guys can participate and stuff like that. So so I really appreciate you guys watching, and that's pretty much it. So, like I said, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.